There's gonna be spoiler alerts, so I mean, what am I saying? Be warned before you watch this video. I'm telling you right now that I'm gonna just spoil things from Private by Kate Bryan and Marissa Meyer's Lunar Chronicles and Rick Riordan's Percy Jackson, what is this called? The Heroes of Olympus. Okay? Okay, there's gonna be spoilers. So maybe don't watch this if you haven't read or you don't want to know. So, okay. Oh my gosh, there's a peak of sun right now. Actually, it's gone. Never mind. It's just like a tiny peak of sunlight just now, but it's no longer here. So I've been an avid book reader since I was 7, 6. I remember in grade 1, the very first book series I read was Magic Tree House, and with Jack and Annie by Osborne. And I remember in grade 1 we would have like competitions with our classmates about like which book we were on. Like, so I'd be like, I'm already on book number 7, and then other people would be like, I'm already on book number 9. I beat you. It's like a reading competition. This is how cool the people in my class are. I wish that 6-year-olds these days were like that, because I don't think they are. I think they're too busy playing Angry Birds, or maybe Angry Birds is so 2012. Is it? So I'm going to talk about like stuff I don't like in books as much, and normally if I find out that a book has this type of twist, I won't read it. And that is the whole memory loss thing. I don't like when main character, it gets to the end and then the main character just forgets everything, or everything that happened in the book was a dream, because it's like so pointless to me. I just get really frustrated and I hate that. So that's probably like one of the topmost things that I don't like in books. Another thing that I don't like is, I know I raved about Marissa Meyer's Lunar Chronicles series, and I do still love the series. It's so amazing. I love Marissa Meyer. She's awesome. This was semi-inspired by Sailor Moon, I think, and I love Sailor Moon so much, and I love Marissa Meyer so much. But another thing that bothers me in books is when there's a ton of grammar mistakes and spelling mistakes. Like in my copy of Winter, I don't know if this is true in all copies or whatever, but in my copy, which I bought, which was expensive, there's like a ton of spelling mistakes and grammar mistakes. Like there's this one part that says like something along the lines of, this isn't this, which doesn't make sense. Like the sentence started with that or something. It was like, this isn't this, this is this, or something. It doesn't make sense. So that bothers me. It totally takes me out of the story. And I just wonder, did they try to get this book out in a rush or something? I mean, it's been more than a year since I've read Cress, so it took a while for this book to come out, but it's really, really lengthy. So maybe they were trying to get it out in a rush and they didn't like proofread, or they probably did proofread, but they didn't catch a lot of things. Like I found a mistake in like probably every few chapters. There was this other part where there was this one word. It was heartrending, which I don't think is a word, but they were describing Cinder's speech, and they said it was heartrending or something. I don't know. That's not a word. Did they mean heart-wrenching or heart-rendering? Is that what they mean? I don't even think that's a word either. Yeah. But I still recommend the series. There was some parts of this that I thought could have been elaborated on. I really love Winter and Jason. They're like one of my favorite couples besides Cinder and Kai. And I wish there was more about Winter and Jason in this. And I also wish that there was more of like Cinder meeting her ancestors, or I don't know, like getting to know the whole Luna thing and being like, oh, this is where my family is from. I've never really had a great family, and I could have had, a family with Queen Channery, even though Channery is a little bit psycho as well. But I wish she had more of a conversation with Lavanna about family stuff, or who her real father is. And I also thought it was a little bit mean. I mean, I know that Audrey and Pearl probably deserve to be treated badly, probably, but I just felt like, oh, Cinder's kind of mean to them. I mean, I know that Pearl and Audrey weren't nice to Cinder, but I just didn't really like Cinder as much in this book, and I didn't really feel like her speech was that empowering. I was slightly disappointed with this book, and I think it's just because I had really high expectations, but I still love all the other books. Cinder, Scarlet, Cress, and Fairest, which I have here. I love them. Oh yeah, another thing was that Fairest, I felt like there was a lot of backstory, and I kind of loved Levana. Like, I love Levana. Like, I wish she could have been redeemed. Am I the only one? I think I'm the only one who wanted her to not be killed at the end. I was just not that happy with this book, which is kind of why I went out and immediately bought, or I mean my sister bought this for me. I bought Reached because I just had a craving for, like, reading the ends to, like, a trilogy. Well, I know this isn't a trilogy, but the quartet. I just wanted to read an ending and be, like, satisfied. So I just had a craving. I was like, okay, I better go get Reached right now because I feel like I just need this. I need, I don't know, good writing. And so far in Reached, there have been no spelling mistakes or grammar mistakes. So thank you, Ali Condi. Thank you. And I do love her writing. I love all the poetry and the theme of just words and sentences and phrases and singing and lyric. That's part of the reason why I loved the Shiver trilogy so much by Maggie Stiefvater, because there was, like, lyrics, there was songwriting. It was really, really beautiful. I loved it because I'm, like, obsessed with words. Yeah, so I'm just going to quickly read a part of Reached. Here's this one part. It's on page 128 of Reached because I'm reading this right now and I really love it so far. Oh my gosh. I hope it doesn't end in an unsatisfactory way because I think I have faith. I have faith. Okay, so it says here, Rage, rage against the dying of the light, which is the Thomas poem that's the theme throughout the whole series. There are many of them in the world, I think, good men and women with their frail deeds. Wondering what might have been, how things might have danced, if we had only dared to be bright. I have been one of them. I unwind more paper and see the line. Wild men who caught and sang the sun in flight. I weave the papers through the branches, a long loop, up and down, my knees bending, my arms above my head like the girls I saw once in a painting in a cave. There is a rhythm to this, a keeping of time. I wonder if I am dancing. And that was the end to chapter 10. I just love that part. There's a lot of parts in this I love so far. Anyway, whatever. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about right now. Another thing that I don't like is just random plot twists that seem weird. Like, it just seems so unexpected and weird and not part of the genre. For example, in Kate Bryan's series Private, when suddenly witchcraft is part of the Billings girls, and maybe you know what I'm talking about, maybe you don't, maybe you haven't read Private. Private is a great series, but I don't really like that part where, oh, it turns out Reed is actually sisters with Noelle. Oh, should I say a spoiler alert? Just, it's so weird. Is Reed really a cat with 9 lives? Maybe it's a curse. Maybe it's a spell. There's supernatural things going on now. Now, for The Lost Hero. This is a series I probably won't finish. I read The Lost Hero like 5 years ago, or I don't know, however long time ago. And although I do love Piper, she's an indigenous, part native, I don't know, she's Cree, or it's been a while. But yeah, I love that diversity. And I love Leo. Leo's cool. Jason, blah, I don't know. I just was like, why is there a whole nother camp? Why? There's Greek gods and then there's the Roman gods, and okay, so one god has 2 different personalities. I just think it's weird. Like, how come all the gods and goddesses have personality disorders? And I just don't understand it. Maybe it's because I only read The Lost Hero, and I love Rick Riordan. I totally respect him, and I know he knows what he's doing. Another series I haven't finished from him is the Egyptian one, the one with Egyptian gods. I don't even remember if I started it, but I love Percy Jackson. Percy Jackson's like one of my #1 crushes, like fictional crushes. And maybe part of the reason I didn't really want to read on after reading The Lost Hero was because there's no Percy in The Lost Hero, and I was like, oh, I thought there would be Percy in this. But I guess I should have known, because it says The Lost Hero, and Percy's a hero, and he's lost. My sister read the whole series. I don't know if I should read the whole series. I probably won't. I mean, it's been a long time since I read the first one, and I don't really want to read this one again to just, like, go ahead and read the rest of the series. But I still love Rick. I even met Rick once. But yeah, I don't like that Percy lost his memory, because as I said at the beginning, I don't like that plot. I don't like the plot where people lose their memory. It's part of what prevented me from reading The Mortal Instruments. Spoiler coming up for Mortal Instruments, because I know Simon chose to lose his memory, but Simon still lost it. I don't know, maybe it was done really well by Cassandra Clare, because I hear she's a really great writer, and I should probably read that series, but I just don't know. I don't have time to commit to all of those books. I'm more into, like, I don't know, girly stuff, which is great. You should read girly things too. If you don't, then you should. Another series I'm not going to finish is The Selection, because I hate all the character names. I don't know. It's just like, it doesn't vibe with me. If I read an author and all of the character names are character names that I love, then I know, oh my gosh, this is the type of writer I am going to love reading, because they have the same taste in names as I do. But, okay, Aspen is a cool name. I like the name Aspen. America is kind of okay. But then there's the name, what's his name? Maxim. And I think that that's weird. So that was the #1 turnoff from reading The Selection. I didn't even finish The Selection, the first book. So of course I'm not going to finish the series. I tried to give it a second chance, because I love the concept of, you know, being based on the book of the Bible, you know, Esther's story, and, you know, having all these people compete to be, it's like The Bachelor. So I love that concept. Another turnoff was that I didn't really enjoy the writing. I didn't like the main character. I mean, America is just the most annoying person on the planet. I mean, I like Katniss. I like Triss. Triss I like most of the time, you know. And I like Katniss because I could relate with Katniss a lot. You know, I have a younger sister. I have a single mom. The same thing happened in The Heir, because I tried to give it a second chance, you see. I read The Heir, and it was America's daughter as the main character, and what's her name? Evelyn? Something like that. And she was also really, really annoying. She wasn't too bad, but there's the same style of writing that I don't really like. It's not the style of writing that I love. You know, I love Patrick Ness's writing. I love Michael Grant's writing. I love Ellie Condi's writing. And Marissa Meyer's writing most of the time. And, you know, J.K. Rowling's writing. I love that. And who else? Kate Bryan's writing I like too. And I also love Maggie Stiefvater's writing. Oh yes, Maggie. I love her. I love her writing. Okay. But this author, I just don't know. I don't really like her writing as much. Or the voice or the narrator. It's tone of speaking. What else? Cherub is a series that I probably will finish, but I just haven't yet because I have had no time. You kind of get the gist, right? I love books, and sometimes I don't love them. The end. Bye!